It's October. Tuesday, October 1st. Welcome to Wicked Radio. I'm Bill Adams. Thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate you so much. We've got an October surprise already. Is this the one they've been talking about? Or is it just really good negotiation on the part of one of the unions? Talk about that because it was some breaking news overnight. We lost the hit king, Pete Rose, and let me tell you something. Baseball has one last shot to do the Pete Rose legacy right. We'll talk about that. VP debate night. You going to watch? I actually am. I'm going to watch this one. I'm actually interested in it. And President Trump on the ground being a president. Where are the other two that are actually in charge right now? We don't know. I don't think anybody knows. Talking to FEMA. That's about it. Let's get to the stuff. Dock strike. It has happened. It was long promised that it was coming. Had a lot of chances to talk about this with the federal administration to try to prevent this from happening. But it's happened. They said it was coming Tuesday, October 1st, and here we are on the day, and it happened as of 12 o'clock midnight, 12:01 a.m. this morning. What are we talking about? The Longshoremen Union, 85,000 workers. 85,000 from Maine to Texas, from the Pacific to the Gulf to the Atlantic. 36 ports in the country. How much is it going to cost the economy? Estimated $1 billion a day. Let's see if that happens. Will it? Yeah, probably. You want to talk about a supply chain crisis? Remember we went through that with COVID, and that was really rough. These were the folks that got it going to get our supplies, goods, and services as much as we did when that was happening during and after COVID. These guys got it going. Without them, you were in some deep, deep trouble. Now, here's the Longshoremen Union president. This guy's name is Harold Daggett. You think this guy is somebody that's going to back down anytime soon?
Who's going to win here in the long run? You're better off sitting down and let's get a contract and let's move on with this world. And in today's world, I'll cripple you. I will cripple you, and you have no idea what that means. Nobody does.
That guy's like out of central casting for a union president, isn't he? I'll cripple you. I'll cripple you. But he's right. They control everything. All of the things that we buy on the store shelves at Target and your local grocery store and your goods and your services and construction supplies and cars and medications, sadly, which is manufactured in most cases overseas. First of all, the first union and the first issue and the first takeaway is we have to diversify our supply chain. We just have to. Got to start making more stuff in this country, keeping it domestic. But right now, we don't. So these people control everything right now. Are they right? Are they wrong? I don't know. But we better do something for them because we're a month away from this election. And the timing is obvious. They've never had more power than right now. With an election coming up, what people are going to feel, they're more than willing to put Americans through pain to feel this. That's not too good. But they're fighting for a new contract. And they want one. And they're probably going to get one. But don't worry, everybody. We've got a sharp, right on it negotiator in the White House right now, don't we? Yeah, not so much.
Mr. President, would you intervene in the dock workers' strike if they go on strike on Tuesday?
No,
Why not?
because it's collective bargaining. I don't believe in Taft-Hartley.
No, I'm not going to intervene. I gotta go to the beach in Rehoboth, Delaware, and sleep on the beach. Yeah, he doesn't believe it. What he was talking about there towards the end was Taft-Hartley. That's the it was enacted in 1947, I guess, which is a strike buster is what it is. It was passed by Congress back then, but he doesn't believe in it. Not going to intervene. But forget about the law. It's just him. It's just them. If you don't think he's going to be involved, you think Kamala Harris is going to get anywhere near the longshoremen, the dock strike? No. So this very well could be, who knows, let's hope not, this could go the full month into the election and beyond. Don't know, but they got a lot of power right now. All right, here's a different world. Leaders lead. President Trump on the ground in Valdosta, Georgia yesterday. One of the things he did was open up for MAGA supporters, and he did it through his channels, GoFundMe. It very quickly went over 1 million. I don't know what it is at this morning, but it's way over 1 million. More importantly, though, being on the ground and being with those people. Just yesterday, there were a lot of supplies he was handing out. And he also announced something very significant. Why the federal government can't restore communication power to these poor people in North Carolina, Georgia, Tennessee, Virginia, most of the Southeast before the private industry can is absolutely pathetic. But this was an awesome announcement.
We want to get Starlink hooked up because they have no communication whatsoever. And Elon will always come through, and we know that. And so we're working on that, getting them hooked up. They asked me whether or not that would be possible. And we're going to try and get the Starlink in there as soon as possible because they have no communication.
Once again, private industry leading the way. The feds could do it. They actually could. And I know, and I get it. I totally understand. It was, Biden was on the phone with FEMA, opening up more funds, and that's important. And Kamala was, I don't know, whatever she does. I think she actually went to FEMA, but answered, once again, no questions on her way as she got off the tarmac and walked into the building. Of course not. Of course, that's not going to happen because it's just as important as behind the scenes being on the ground with those people. And this is a little bit long, and it's just kind of like some ambient background noise, but you hear the reaction from the people as Trump was walking around and talking to them yesterday. Listen towards the end what this one guy says as, Trump's thanking, and they're thanking him for being there. Just listen to the reaction of the people. This is what matters. This is what people take away. Who was there for them? They're not going to see, they're not going to feel opening up federal funds. They're going to remember who was on the ground and actually made the trip to care about them. Here's Trump on the ground yesterday.
Donald Trump.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for everything. We've been praying for you.
You see that wall? The hurricane did that. That's what Biden Harris has done to America. That resembles it right there.
Okay, I don't think we can actually say here that this storm is what Biden Harris did to them. But it doesn't matter. You know that phrase, perception is reality? Perception has become the reality. The storm is one thing. The lack of response is another. But not being there is the perception that's become reality. Where are they? That's the prevailing takeaway from this storm and the aftermath of how horrific it is. And as the destruction and the death toll goes up, and some of the stories, especially out of Western North Carolina, are just horrific. But where are they? Where's the response from this government? And they may be doing a lot behind the scenes. That's not what the people see. If you were, God forbid, you or I were stuck in that situation, and you're trying to find a lost relative, or you're trying to recover your life in that situation, and you don't see, feel any response, any love from the people that are actually in charge right now, that matters. What matters more is the guy that's also already been president is at least on the ground as close as he could get, and he's there. That's what matters. Leaders lead. All right, in the meantime, vice presidential debate tonight. Are you going to watch? I'm going to watch. I'm interested in this. I actually am. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I don't always watch the vice presidential debates. They're not really too consequential. This one really might be. It was funny. Just about an hour ago, I was looking this up, and I'm saying, how many people actually do watch these debates? Well, they had 57 million people watch the last one back in 2020. I think this was the Mike Pence, the fly in his head one. Yeah, that was rough. But that was a lot of numbers. Not as big as the presidential one. I mean, this last one with Trump and Kamala was huge. Huge, as he would say. But I'm going to watch this because I want to see one particular thing. And you may be watching for the same reason if you're so inclined. Is Tim Walz going to lose it? I think it's fair to say now. And we're free to say whatever we want. Think whatever we want. He's a spazzy kind of guy, if I can say that. You know what I mean? He's jerky. He kicks. Even when his arms are locked shoulder to shoulder with somebody, he'll kick. He's just a weird dude, even though, remember they called everybody else weird? They're always what they accuse the opponent of being. Always remember that about politicians. I want to see, and I'm hoping, this is what I really want to see. I want to see J.D. Vance, who's going to be smooth. He'll be a good debater. He always has been. If you look at his senatorial debates when he was running in Ohio, good. I mean, he's sharp. He's aggressive. Speaks from the common man's perspective. It's really good. But I want to see, and what I'm hoping, is that he sends Tim Walz over the edge. Tim Walz has a real anger problem. He's a really, fitsy kind of dude. And if JD gets under his skin about the China connections and what's coming out now, possibly Russia connection, asks him why he has 30-plus trips to China, and yet doesn't have you heard this? Tim Walz has no investments in American business. He doesn't have a 401k. He has no stocks. That's been fact-checked and proven. I don't know anybody that doesn't have an investment in anything in this country. Literally, I was trying to think the other day of any adults I know in my life who don't have an investment in anything. He has none. Probably like a house and a mortgage, but no 401k, no investment. That's strange combined with the fact that he's been to China over 30 times, that kind of stuff, some sort of a bombshell, I'm hoping J.D. Vance throws at him to throw Tim Walz over the edge. And there's not a lot of confidence. Remember the other day we were talking about this? Actually, it might have been just yesterday. There was a rumor, if you want to take that with a grain of salt, coming out of the Harris-Walz campaign that Tim Walz is not very confident, and they're not confident in him going into this debate. Says he's nervous. Now I believe it, because the Democrat-run media started to talk about it too. They're not too confident. In fact, just yesterday, MSNBC was already prepping the low IQ, low information MSNBC voters for a bad Tim Walz performance. It really happened. This is what they said.
He will be articulate, and he will be prepared, and he will be better than Trump was. And I think it's really going to be a challenge for Tim Walz.
She was talking about J.D. Vance there. He'll be articulate. He'll be a tough debater. Better than Trump. They're prepping. They're ready for it, that it's not going to go so well. I expect that. I don't think Tim Walz is going to do well at all. He's on the record saying he's not a good debater. Like I said, what I'm hoping for is a meltdown. That's what I want to see. I want, like, headlines out of this. I hope you and I gather tomorrow morning for the live stream and we're talking about Tim Walz, like, I don't know, dropping an F-bomb or something out of frustration. That's what I want to see. And it may not. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm pretty confident J.D. Vance is going to do very well. He's a smart guy, and he speaks from the common man's perspective. So we'll see what happens with it. I'm definitely going to watch, that's for sure. All right. We lost Pete Rose. We lost the hit king yesterday. 83 years old. This one hit me. I'm just such a sports fan, but I've got this lifelong admiration for Pete Rose. But Bill, he bet on baseball. Of course he did. I will never believe he bet on his own team. Ever. Against his own team, I should say. Maybe he bet on the Reds or the Phillies, maybe the Expos to win, maybe. But a competitor like that, I don't think ever would bet against his own team. And that was never revealed. So it was a lifetime ban from the Hall of Fame. His entire life, he never got to see his name called. He never got to see the bronze statue of himself, ever. And I'll tell you this, I think Major League Baseball has one last shot to do right by the Pete Rose legacy and for his family and for baseball fans everywhere. It was a lifetime ban. Sadly, his life is over. They got a shot to put him in the Hall of Fame posthumously now. Will they? Well, it's the safe and kind of gutless thing to do, so probably, to be honest with you, because that's how Major League Baseball works these days, at least they give the guy's legacy a chance to shine in the Hall in Cooperstown forever. You said it was a lifetime ban. Stay to your word. Let's hope so anyway. This is the moment when he became the hit king and surpassed Ty Cobb for 42. Actually, he's at 42.56 now. That's what he wound up with. This was the moment he did it.
From Schaus into left center. There it is. Rose has eclipsed Cobb. That's number 4,192.
Yeah. Wound up with 42.56. Most singles, most career games, played a long, long time. Career at-bats, career plate appearances. You know, the Hall of Fame is the Hall of Fame. It's not the Hall of Angels. You know, you've got baseball players that are in there that are convicted drug dealers. I mean, that's a fact. But Pete Rose was kept out his whole life. But it's okay. I found this little factoid that I had no idea was actually a thing. He is a Hall of Famer in one respect. Did you know this? He's in the World Wrestling WWE Hall of Fame. No idea. So his whole life, Pete Rose could say, I am a Hall of Famer. He was inducted as the Wrestling Hall's celebrity wing in 2004 after making several appearances at WWE pay-per-view. Had no idea. If wrestling can do it right, baseball can do it right. Wake up. We gotta get sports writers out of the system for voting people into the Hall of Fame, because they hold grudges. I mean, they held a grudge against Pete Rose, obviously, because he wasn't too nice in interviews. They tried to keep Ted Williams out of the Hall of Fame. Got to get baseball to be the national pastime again. All right. Hopefully, like I said, tomorrow morning for the live stream, we're talking about some kind of a Tim Walz meltdown. Will it happen? Maybe. Maybe not. We'll see. Let's keep an eye on this dock strike. 85,000 longshoremen workers on strike. It may affect your goods and services. And I will say this, I mean, honestly, if you've got like medications or supplies you really, really need, try to grab a hold of those now. Or maybe this thing is settled soon. Who the heck knows? Let's hope so anyway. Debate night tonight. And once again, let's keep an eye and thoughts and prayers up for the people in the wake of Hurricane Helene, because that's looking tougher and tougher as we go. We're in October. I got a coffee cup full of pumpkin spice already. Can you believe it? What a wimp I've become. Have a great day. Thanks for hanging out for the live stream. And it stays as a post on X and on YouTube. And the audio podcast is up wherever you get them. That would be iTunes, Spotify on there. I can never remember them. Whatever. Just search for Wicked Radio with Bill Adams and you can find it. Don't take any crap from anybody. Have a great, great 1st of October. We'll talk to you tomorrow.